Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 30th. A colder weather pattern has become established in the mid-Atlantic region, partly the result of a major stratospheric warming event now occurring over the North Pole region. Temperatures in the upper part of the atmosphere near and over the North Pole have skyrocketed over the last few days, and that in turn has led to colder air pushing into the lower latitudes, into the central and eastern part of the U.S. And it looks like this change to cold will be rather sustained, not necessarily record-breaking cold or historic cold or anything like that, but rather sustained cold well into the month of February. Not only is it a colder pattern, but a pretty active pattern. Right now we have one low pressure area moving off the mid-Atlantic coastline. Still some instability behind it. Could cause some snow shower activity over the next several hours, maybe even an isolated snow squall. And then a clipper system will produce some snow on Tuesday, primarily in areas north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, and we'll focus in on that over the next few minutes. Let's take a look at the current surface map. Low pressure is weak right now off the mid-Atlantic coastline. However, it will strengthen over the next few hours. Winds should intensify in the I-95 corridor over the next several hours out of the northwest, as this strengthens and moves away from the mid-Atlantic coastline. And again, some instability in the upper part of the atmosphere will produce some snow showers in and around the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City over the next several hours, maybe even an isolated heavier snow squall. Meanwhile, upstream, here we go, a classic clipper type system, fast moving in the fast-moving jet stream from the northwest to the southeast. It'll cross from the Great Lakes into the northeast U.S. on Tuesday, produce some snow, especially in areas north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Maybe some small accumulations in southeastern Pennsylvania, maybe 2, 3, perhaps even 4 inches in and around the New York City metro region. Probably little or nothing in the D.C. metro region, as again this clipper will primarily affect areas with snow on Tuesday north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Well, here's a current look at the radar loop from NOAA. Again, an area of decent snow pushing off the mid-Atlantic coastline. This little system produced about an inch or so in and around D.C. in the overnight hours, up to 2 inches or so in places like Cape May. They were snowing pretty hard a couple of hours ago. That is pulling away. Most of the snow, if not all of it, stayed south and east of the Philadelphia metro region. But upstream, some instability. We'll look at a vorticity max in a moment that's continuing to push through the region. Lots of snow shower activity across south central Pennsylvania, the central mountains, even just to the north of D.C. And again, any one of these snow showers could affect D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City over the next several hours, maybe even an isolated heavier snow squall in parts of the mid-Atlantic region. Well, let's take a look at the very latest 12Z NAM model run. All these maps available at tropicaltidbits.com. A lot of energy in the atmosphere, even though that low pressure area is moving away from the mid-Atlantic coastline. There still is a vorticity max over the eastern Great Lakes sliding through the mid-Atlantic region. Again, that'll touch off some scattered snow shower activity over the next several hours, maybe even a heavier burst of snow in portions of Pennsylvania, for example, during the midday or afternoon hours. Let's push forward here in 3-hour increments. This is actually now early this afternoon, and here's that still some energetic a piece of energy here in the upper part of the atmosphere. We're looking at 500 millibar vorticity centers right here from the very latest 12Z NAM run. Let's push forward, and here is by early tonight that area of instability pushing off the mid-Atlantic coastline. But notice upstream, yet another area of instability here, vorticity center associated with that clipper system, which will impact parts of the mid-Atlantic region on Tuesday, producing snow north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 12Z NAM model run. Again, low pressure off the mid-Atlantic coastline. A little bit of snow depicted here at this current time across western Pennsylvania. Let's now push forward. And here we go. Notice here the NAM model by middle part of the afternoon produces a little band of snow here in blue that extends from D.C. area really into southeastern Pennsylvania during the mid-afternoon hours. So even though this low pressure area is pulling away, there's still enough instability in the atmosphere to produce a snow shower activity over the next several hours. And again, there may be a heavier snow squall during the midday or afternoon hours anywhere from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. So be on the lookout for that. Upstream, here's that Clipper system by the middle part of this afternoon, producing snow across some of the northern plains and western Great Lakes. Let's push forward here, and this is by early tonight. All today's precipitation pulls away by the evening, and then we're looking upstream, and here by late tonight, snow already breaking out in the western and central part of Pennsylvania, and then by tomorrow morning, that Clipper system pushing quickly from the northwest to the southeast. Snow could break out in Philadelphia region, especially north of the Pennsylvania Turnpike during the morning hours. Again, the farther north and east, the better your chances tomorrow for some accumulating snow. Looks like little, if any, south of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border in places like D.C. Looks like maybe a small accumulation possible in southeastern Pennsylvania. And then by the time you get up to New York City, could be a 2 or 3 inch snowfall from this Clipper system. Let's just push ahead a couple more hours here. This is the middle part of the morning. Again, primarily north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, even perhaps north of the I-76, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, 276. Again, the best chance for accumulating snow tomorrow will come northeastern Pennsylvania and New York City, but even down into southeastern Pennsylvania, there could be some snow from the Clipper system on Tuesday. So an active pattern over the next 24, 48 hours or so. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for any updates later today. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorey.